are live. Welcome to episode 50 of the High Slot Podcast, brought to you by our producer, Mass Music Radio. I'm here, as always, with the boys, Bob Deuce.
How are we?
Snipsky.
Yes, sir.
And myself, Andrew Coco Curry. What's going on, boys?
Nothing. Summer's approaching. Hitting the gym a lot. I've been landscaping. Started landscaping with my brother Jack. Shout out Jack. Been grinding, to say the least. So a little tired, but I'm ready. I'm ready to go today. How about you, Vinny?
Not too much. Just became an old man the other day. The big 3-0. Went on quite a bender this week, celebrating the birthday. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing much. Haven't picked up the sticks in a while. But this Friday it'll be fun to play.
Damn, Snipsky, the big 3-0. That's a milestone.
Yeah, I'm fucking old, man.
He beat everything. He beat everything. He's beating alcoholism.
Beating off.
Yeah, beating off. He's beating everything. He's 30 years old and he doesn't have a worry in the world.
Oh, more worries to come.
Snipsky beat all odds, making it to 30 years old. Look where he is
I did it for Mac Miller. I did it for my boy Mac Miller.
Yeah,
Living on.
Hell yeah, absolute legend. Rest in peace. Yep. But yeah, Bob, I know what that landscaping grind feels like, and it's rough, dude. It's tough. Wait till the dog days of summer too, and it's like 90 plus, and it's hotter than two squirrels fucking in a wool sock out there.
Yeah. I mean, like on top of that, I've been skating like 5 times a week. Like I love all that, but it's just tiring. I'm just grinding and everything. But like yeah, so right now it's just windy and shit. And like, dude, I'm just like the pollen. Oh my lord!
Oh,
dude.
it's so bad.
I have like wicked bad allergies. My allergies are brutal, dude. I have to take like medication and shit, dude. I'll be like sneezing, like hawking up a lung, like eyes are like all like bloodshot and stuff. Sometimes I'm like Jesus, but just gotta get through it.
Oh yeah,
it's a paycheck.
I've been doing that all like for a week now. Fucking rubbing my eyelids till they fucking bleed. Fucking sneeze 17 times in a row. And then, like 5 minutes later, start again. It's fucking nasty.
Yeah, and then a sneeze turns into a shot, and you're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, you just fart in someone's face. You bend over, you're like, oh shit, whoops. Nothing to see.
Gotta carry around an extra pair of whitey tighties at all times of the day now.
Nasty.
Yeah.
You never know when you're gonna.
You gotta double up.
It's a normality.
You gotta double up on the whiteys. You gotta put 1 and then 2 extra later just in case.
That's a bad move.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like a lint roller. You know the lint rollers? Yeah, you keep on taking layers off.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is.
Nasty.
Yeah, dude. We sound like old men talking about like allergies and all that shit. Like I feel like this happens every year. People talk about it, and it's never affected me. But this year, dude, it's hitting me bad. I've had like a sore throat, dude, for like over a week. I'm like, what's going on, dude? There's no way I should have a sore throat right now. And someone's like, yeah, it's probably allergies. And I'm like, I don't get allergies. And then just like a week later, I'm like, all right, it's allergies. Like, because this thing ain't going away. I've been ripping like tea and lemon, trying to like help it. Nothing's working.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute. Is it allergies? Because COVID is over now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, COVID's not there anymore. I don't know. Like,
oh, it's official.
Just,
like COVID is like over because I work in like the healthcare, so I go inside hospitals and everything. It's gone now. All the masks, like you don't have to wear it inside. Yeah. Like it's a choice. It's optional. No, I didn't believe them at first, and then I go in and I'm like, oh my god. I'm wearing a mask. I'm like, oh my god, this is not a joke. And then I'm like, don't have to wear the mask anymore. It's tight.
But yeah, it's brutal, dude. Like I never thought it would ever affect me, and then here I am. But I know multiple people at work are just like miserable. Like they're like, I'm getting murdered from allergies. I'm like, that sounds awful. Like
yeah, everyone's getting smoked. I've always been bad with allergies, but this year, like particularly for some reason, I'm just getting smoked.
Yeah, same.
Like worse than before.
I guess it's because we barely had a winter. Like winter was so mild, so they said that like pollen is like through the roof, like the pollen index, and dude, there's mad ticks. I've been taking Benny out, and he's coming in with at least like 5 ticks on him every time he goes out to take a piss. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Like I live near the woods, but like it's never been this bad.
It wasn't that.
I guess that's what we get for like not having.
Yeah, it wasn't cold at all this winter. It didn't even get into the single digits, I don't think, once.
Goddamn global warming.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Al Gore was right.
that rat.
But no, for real though, it's been like the longest 2 days without hockey because like I've just been in such a routine since the playoff starts. Like grind through the workday, get home, take care of Franny, put her to sleep, and then hockey rest of the night. Wake up, do it all over again.
Right.
And then like last night, I'm like, wait, there's no hockey on. Like, what the hell am I supposed to watch? I'm like, oh, there's gotta be like baseball. Nope, socks aren't on, nothing's on. I'm just like, all right, like,
yeah,
what the hell do I do now?
You know, I like
just lost puppy out here.
Yeah, I actually watched basketball last night. It was kind of nuts. I'm just, it's like more interesting because the Celtics are like in it, so it's like, all right, who are we gonna play? Like, I do fall. I'm gonna like, I have them on the TV here, just like peep, but. Yeah, no, it's just interesting. So the Celtics were in there. I wouldn't give a rat's ass. It would. I can't even watch the fucking Sox. Sox are like brutal, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, the Celtics are at least picking up the slack for the Bruins. I thought the Celtics were gonna lose that last series
right.
The way like I was following it, and I'm like, dude, we're about to like lose to the Sixers. We never lose to the Sixers. I'm like, this is about to just be bad
anarchy
for Boston sports. Like two of the top teams in hockey and basketball from Boston, like both bowing out early. I'm like, this is gonna be a tough look for the so-called City of Champions. But Celtics are holding their own, and from what I've read, they should get by the Heat and they should get to the finals. But we got a big episode today for all you beauties out there. We're gonna start with a recap of the second round of the NHL playoffs, and then we'll get into our Eastern and Western Conference Finals preview, break down each matchup, as well as give you our series predictions. You boys ready to roll?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right, why don't we start with a little recap of round two. So I'd have to say that this has probably been one of the most unpredictable NHL playoffs in recent memory. And that's impressive because the boys have been holding their own. If I had to sum it up, I would just say from here on out, expect the unexpected. Why don't we talk about some results from the second round? Starting off with Leafs-Panthers. Boys, let's hear your takeaway from the Leafs-Panthers series.
Yeah, I mean, I should have stayed away from the Leafs after that first round because I know they were one-hit wonders. I should have known. That was dumb on my part. Dude, the Panthers are just like kind of a team of destiny right now. They just have like such a like ferocious forecheck. They just beat the hell out of teams. Bobrovsky's playing unbelievable, and they just have a lot of depth scoring too. So and like the Leafs just like didn't like their top guys didn't even show up. Like Austin Matthews, no goals in the whole entire series. Guy's getting paid like 12 sheets fucking a year. The guy fucking can't even put the puck in the back of the net when it fucking matters, you know. So it just came down to like who wanted it more, and like the Panthers just wanted it more than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like the Maple Leafs, yeah, they dropped the first two games at home. Like, what are you doing? You know,
yeah.
So, like that's our recipe for success.
Well, I think it comes down to who had more balls, and obviously the Panthers did. I think when the Maple Leafs, when it came down to like them winning that series and the way they won it is really emotional, and dude, they were like humping each other on the benches like prior series. So like they already secured, they secured the bag on that bench, like the coaching staff, the GM. I feel like they got out of the first round. They blew their load. So I like the Panthers, just the way they play. They ferocious forecheck. They got Matthews, Marner, Nylander lost, looking at each other like, what's going on? We can't compete with this. They're way tougher than us, and they're like tougher and skilled, but like they don't have the balls on the Leafs, and their goaltender just. Samsonov, dude, he doesn't want to be there. I don't think he's not built for that type of environment. And Bobrovsky, unbelievable. He's a stone wall back there. He's MVP, I think, in my book for that series. He carried it over, played unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I should have just went one and done with the Leafs. Like, oh yeah, I got out of the first round. I shouldn't have expected more from them. I did it mainly as a jinx. I just wanted to jinx the Leafs and like hopes that they wouldn't make it to the Cup with the Bruins being out in the first round. But it was such typical Leafs, dude. It was so typical for them to just blow their load in the first round, act like they won the Cup, and then to nearly get swept in the second round. I mean, and then them losing in overtime on home ice to end the season was just like icing on the cake. Like, you couldn't have scripted it any better.
And then Gudas just screaming in his face.
Oh, yeah. That
so
was good. That was very good.
Anyone who thinks that the Leafs season was a success is an absolute cock, dude. Like, you can't be you can't be satisfied. You can't be satisfied with that team that they have with just getting past the first round. I don't care if it's been like 20 years since they've done it. You can't consider this season a success. Looking at their playoff run, they only had 2 regulation wins in the entire playoffs. Yeah. If they didn't steal those overtime wins on the road against Tampa, they would have been golfing weeks ago. Like, they were honestly lucky to get out of that first round. And it was mainly because Vasilevsky just, I don't know where his game went. It was just lost. Like, if he was even half the goaltender that we know he is, there's no way the Leafs even get by Tampa. Leafs also went 1-5 at home in the playoffs. Like, talk about home ice advantage. You drop a dud and you win 1 game at home in the playoffs and lose 5. Like, that's embarrassing. And they also had 7 straight games where they scored only 2 goals or fewer. 7 games in a row, they couldn't score more than 2 goals. Honestly, their goaltending kind of kept them in it. Samsonov wasn't bad, and then Wall there honestly stepped in, and he did a great job, I thought. For a rookie, that's a tough spot to be in. Definitely can't put any blame on him. It's the same thing, dude. It's the core 4 didn't show up once again. The $10 million boys, just didn't earn their paycheck, and it's honestly, if I'm the Leafs, I think you blow up the entire team. You just blow it all up. Like, because clearly whatever you have doesn't work. There's 2 guys on that roster who I think are safe and I would keep. One is Willie Nylander. He came up clutch.
I agree.
He stepped up when he had to.
He was a little streaky, started off hot, and then went on a streak of like no points. But the entire core 4 did that. But Nylander stepped up when they needed it. He scored the tying goal to send that game 5 into OT. And then Morgan Riley was a stud all playoffs long. And that Leafs blue line isn't the best, but he held it down back there, man. He's playing with like Giordano, who's like friggin'
Justin Hall.
Justin Hall.
Stinks.
Like, their blue line stinks. But Morgan Riley, I thought, really stuck out. Like, every time he had the puck, I'm like, damn, this guy's making a play, or he might even score. We can talk about that controversial no goal call. He almost buried that one too.
Oh yeah. That was So I was convinced that I went in like Toronto. Like, all right, the one thing about Toronto, they're really good salesmen. Because like I was just watching. I was watching with like no sound or whatever. I was like kind of nodding off on the couch or whatever. I was pretty tired watching it, and I saw him Selly or whatever. And then I saw like that one angle. Well, there was a bunch of angles. I was like, all right, there's no goal or whatever. And then like there was like that one angle where like it was like the whistle already blew, but they like no one was saying the whistle.
Yeah,
blew
and they tipped it in,
something like that, and it like clearly it was in the net. Yeah, and then like Bogowski like kicked it in the net or whatever and brought it back out, which made it look wicked shady. And then like the more like they analyze it, they're like, oh wait, that was after the whistle. It's just like, then what are we looking at? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there was no evidence that the puck went in the net before prior to whistle.
Toronto was trying to find a way.
Like, Jesus Christ,
they're trying to find a way to cheat.
Dude, and then Toronto fans, classy as all can be, throwing
a cup. It was during the play. I thought, because when they pointed it out on the TV.
No, it was right after the.
I thought it was during the play, and they're like, "Oh, there's a bear cup on the ice, and they're playing." I'm like, "Oh, damn!" I didn't know it could have been. It could have been right after the face-off. They said that, but.
Yeah, it was just like they started throwing shit on the ice and everything. It was just ridiculous. And then
classic.
It was so bad. Like, yeah, it was such a bad blowback from Toronto, like the Toronto fan base, that like Toronto itself, like the rules analyst had to like submit like a statement. It's like, dude, you don't have to fucking say. You don't have to explain shit.
Right.
Who like the ref's like explanation's enough. You know what I mean? Like in any other game or any other fan base, they wouldn't be catering to those clowns. You know what
those
I mean?
Losers.
Yeah, there was a lot of people on like social media, Twitter specifically, who really showed that they don't know puck. They don't know puck because looking at that, like, did it go in? Maybe. But looking at the replay, there was no video evidence that that puck fully crossed the line. The only like one that the image that everyone kept showing was the one you said, Bob, where the puck was like under a skate, but it was after he stood up and the whistle was already blown by then. So it's like that's completely irrelevant. Like, yeah, he stood up when the whistle blew and then the puck was in the net. But,
when was the whistle blown?
like, in real time, when Morgan Riley came in and tucked it, you just see it under his pad and then you never see it again.
Yeah.
Until he got up. So from that, there's no evidence that that puck went in. There was also like another screenshot of like the puck like in front of his pad, and it kind of looks like it's over the line, but like that angle's from like ice level. It's not from the goal line. So again, there's no evidence. The puck has to fully cross the line. That's the rule in hockey. Everyone should know that. And
after the whistle,
we saw, there was no evidence
before
that
the whistle
puck went in. So yeah, before the whistle, no evidence that that puck went in. So yeah, everyone out there was like hooting and hollering, like, rig job, Toronto got screwed. No, they didn't. That was the right call. And honestly,
they always
I don't
fuck
think
themselves.
And honestly, I don't think that would have made a difference. You were down 3-1 in the series. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that would have
you lost your
tied
first two home games.
Yeah, like, you guys lost the series in the first 2 games, dropping 2 at home. Like, so anyone saying that the Leafs got hosed, you're an idiot. And not to just make this all about the Leafs, and not to discredit the Florida Panthers at all. They're on a hot run.
Oh, I'm giving all the credit.
They're really streaky. And Sergei Bobrovsky, man, stud. I mean, he's turning back the clock big time. I think some people forget he's a 2-time Vezina winner, not 1, 2-time Vezina winner. It was back in like before 2010. But yeah, he's showing glimpses of that Vezina winning goaltender that he used to be. And the Rat King, man, strikes again. Man, he's leading those.
The scary thing about that whole series is, where was Matt Tkachuk? I mean, like, he was not standing out. Like,
I don't even think.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, he did everything other than score goals or points, and they still won and pretty much dominated that series. When he's on, like, I don't think there's a better team in the league. Like, they got they got Verhaeghe, who's unreal right now. They got Duclair that's stepping up. Like, also Montour. Like, Bennett. Oh, dude, Bennett was like such a ad because he didn't even play like the last half of the year or something, or he's out for the last 2 months of the year. They go on a run and they add him like second game of the series against the Bruins, steps in there and scores a goal and starts smashing mouths. Dude, he took out that kid Matt Nees in the second game or like the third game of the series, and Nees was all done. It was like behind the net, and he fucking smoked him. I'm like, all right, welcome to the NHL, kid. And then you got like Sam Bennett, just like, I don't care, like, just beasting out there. Like, I love to see it. Like, and then they got the stone wall back there. I'm big on the Panthers. I like the Panthers a lot.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Barkov and Ekblad.
Yeah,
probably the 2 best players on the ice.
Dude, Barkov in his own in
Sam
his prime. Dude.
Sam Reinhart's a great player too. Like, he has like a crazy amount. I think he has like double-digit goals right now.
What, in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, I was seeing like the stat lines. Yeah, dude, I was seeing the stat lines and I was like blown away. They like the stat line, like their depth scoring for the Panthers is like honestly nuts. It's so crazy because Barkov only has 2 goals.
Reinhardt has
assists. I think he has
Reinhardt has 6 goals in the playoffs. The only guy.
Oh, well, maybe I was thinking the points.
Yeah, he is in. No, he only has 8 points. But the only guy that has double-digit goals is playoff Leo
McDavid.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Where is he on the fucking couch?
Oh yeah. No, I'm just saying the only person with double-digit goals in the playoffs right now. Well, that's sitting on the couch playing golf somewhere.
But yeah, I guess credit to the Panthers, and then just typical choke job from the Leafs, man. It's same old song and dance. I hope they're satisfied with that first round series win, because it means nothing. You bow out in 5 games in round 2.
It did was buy the GM and the coach a couple more years.
I don't even know, dude. I like I said, I'd blow the team up. Everyone. Dubas gone. Sheldon Keefe gone. Everyone gone. Matthews, see you later. Marner, bye-bye.
Tim Hortons sponsorship. See ya.
Yeah, TikTok sponsor. Gone.
Milk, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, whatever milk is.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, but I want to ask you guys a question. Who do you like if you had a chance to get rid of one person and it was between Marner and Matthews? Who do you deal?
Deal
Matthews.
Matthews. He has.
I think so too.
You get like more return out of him, and dude, he showed that he doesn't fucking show up when he needs to. And
Yeah, he sucked.
Marner actually like kind of like stepped up in that series, I guess you can say. Like he was part of that.
Yeah,
one
like I think Marner's
Yeah.
more effective when it comes to like the way he plays. Maybe they're both not great in the D zone. Like I can't be like, oh, one's like nasty at defense, but when it comes to like stick handle and making plays, like it's definitely Marner, like the one that can do both better.
I don't think Matthews has 30 goals at most without Marner.
Yeah,
There's no way
He's
Matthews
the playmaker.
scores 40, 50, 60
Yeah, I
goals
agree.
if he doesn't have Mitch Marner with him. Because Mitchy Mitch is setting up almost every one of Matthews' goals. Like, and that's just a fact. I think Matthews is like a
necessary.
He's like a yeah, like he can't do it by himself. Put it that way.
And Nylander you can throw in the mix for those like assists too. Like Marner and Nylander just dishing to Matthews.
Yeah, but yeah, anything else you boys want to add about Leafs Panthers before we move on?
Leafs below.
Yeah, I mean, just like suck it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Suck on that one, Ronto.
Yeah,
The Bruins lost a little bit,
sandpaper
not much,
sandpaper
but-
finish.
They're not even finishing.
Yeah, right.
They're getting blue balled.
Yeah, they can't even beat off.
They're getting cucked. They got cucked.
They're fucking shooting blanks. They play shooting blanks, dude.
They're cranking it lefty, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, they're trying to fix it. Like they don't know what's going on.
Sitting on their own hands.
Bringing their wife to the brothel and sitting in the corner.
Cock Central.
All right, let's talk about the other series in the Eastern Conference. We had Carolina Hurricanes and New Jersey Devils. Boys, let's hear it. You boys have the Devils.
Yeah, no, so...
Yeah, all I got to say...
I'll go this time, yeah. Devils, I thought they were up to the task, but obviously the Canes are just a bigger physical team, and the Devils just couldn't match up that way. They're way too finesse, and maybe in a couple years. I mean, they got a young core there. I like obviously Jack Hughes. They have like Dawson Mercer who look really good. I'm missing probably a couple other guys that I can't think of the top of my head right now, but yeah, the Canes are just huge. They're good, and they don't even have they didn't have Teuvo Teravainen. They didn't have obviously Snezhnikov, and they still ended up winning that series pretty easily. The Canes are just built for the playoffs. Tough team to get by. I mean, their goaltending isn't the greatest, but they make up with the solid D on the back end with Brady Shea and who else do they have on the back end?
Yeah,
Brent Burns. Yeah, Brent Burns is kind of like Brent Pesce. Yeah,
Pesce's
Pesce
dirty.
and who's the other guy? Do they still have that? They don't have Brendan Smith still, do they? That dude's a fucking menace.
No, they...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's a menace. He got dished.
I think he was on the team last year.
I
think he was on a dust ass team this year. But yeah, the Canes are just too much to handle, and they remind me of a Vegas Knights type team where it's just like you're just gonna get bullied, and they got the scoring.
Yeah. I don't know if you mentioned Jacob Slavin.
Slavin.
Leading the playoffs.
Yeah, Slavin, yeah.
He's like plus 13 in the playoffs.
He's a super underrated defenseman.
Yeah.
No one really talks about him.
They picked up Gostisbehere at the deadline too. It's kind of a sneaky pickup for them.
Yeah, he's been playing well for them too. He quarterbacks the power play.
To tell you the truth, I wasn't a big fan of that move because I just never seen Gostisbehere really he was good when he played in Philly, and then like after that, he's just kind of a suitcase. Never really made an impact anywhere. But hey, I mean, maybe that's a spot for him.
Yeah, sometimes you can just get buried in like the Philly filth.
Yeah.
Like, people kind of forget about you.
The
But
Philly
I've always
filth.
been a huge Bear guy because I remember watching him when he played for Union, dude, when they won the Natty Ship, their first one ever in school history.
Yep.
And he was literally like by far the best
I
player
remember
in that entire
watching that,
tournament.
too.
As a defenseman, too, just like single-handedly led them to a Natty title. I was like, dude, this guy cost his players.
Yeah, I was a fan too.
Yeah, he was gross.
I remember that. It was in Philly when they won it, right? And he was a draft pick too.
And he got drafted.
Yeah, he was a draft pick prospect.
Yeah. Bob, what was your take on Kane's Devil series?
I mean, you were right, Coco. Like at last pod, you said that, oh yeah, Rod the Bod is like have the boys ready. I think he'll like be able to figure out the Devils, and he did. And like the Devils are just a young core. I said it in the first round preview. I just can't I can't pick my nose when it comes to Eastern Conference, dude. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't have my head on straight with this fucking Eastern Conference. But yeah, just dude, the Canes are just a force to be reckoned with. Like I think that's just like smokescreen about like all those guys being out. You know what I mean? Like TiVo being out, Smeshnikov, Pacioretty like maybe like played like one like exhibition game. It hasn't played because of his Achilles. But like those two top guys that have been out, like a lot of people, oh, I don't know if they're gonna make it. Like I kind of looked more into that than I probably looked too much into that, and that's why I faded the Canes like that past series. But yeah, it just like I agree with Vinny. The Devils probably like in the next year or two, like they'll probably be in the same spot, maybe like get over the hump next year and from now or something. But it just sucks. I can't pick the Eastern Conference, so I'm pretty nervous for this Eastern Conference final. Maybe I can redeem myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and brag because you gotta take the wins when you can get them. I like the Devils, dude. It was tough for me to pick against them, honestly. I had them in the first round against the Rangers, and honestly, I think they were a little lucky to get by the Rangers in 7. They dropped the first 2 and then clawed back in that series. And the Rangers were just fugazi. They were fake. They were good on paper.
They blew it.
But yeah, they just choked too. And I was like, the Devils, great for them, young team. Would love to see them make a run. But I was like, the Canes are just too experienced, have too many vets on that team for them, to get eliminated by this Devils team. And I think what it just came down to is the Canes kind of just bullied the Devils. Dude. They kind of just bullied them. They had too much grit. New Jersey's kind of, a little more flashy. They like to like enter the zone with speed and stuff. And Carolina really countered that well by like clogging up the middle, slowing down guys like Jack Hughes, putting bodies on them, just being relentless, just being sickos. But no, I think this Devils team is very young and exciting, and they're going to be back. They're going to learn from this. They'll be right back here next year. Bright future for this group. You got the Hughes brothers. We saw Luke Hughes get some action in this series, and he looked good.
He had an OT goal, I think,
he's
too.
Still young. Yeah, I mean, dude, they just have such a great young core. Heischer, the captain, Dawson Mercer played awesome. They have a veteran guy like Andre Palat who's that's gonna pay off for them at some point. I know he didn't show up much this year in the playoffs, but he will at some point because that's just what he does. That guy on McLeod,
I was going to bring him up.
He was dirty. He's
on
nasty
the PK.
on the penalty kill.
PK,
He had like 2 short-handed goals.
2 big ones
He's
too.
A dog, and all those guys are locked up on contracts too. Plus, they have cap space, and they have a solid prospect pool. This guy's like Simon Nemec, who I don't think played much.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
There's another young
Do you think
guy
is Timo Meyer on contract still?
RFA.
Oh, so
I think
is he an RFA?
Back. I think he comes.
No, that's
back.
huge if he's an RFA because they can just tender him if he gets an offer.
Tender, yeah, I think that's probably what they'll do with him. They do have the cap space.
I would.
Long term.
I would sign him.
I think it would be smart for them to hit him with a qualifying offer and then go out and grab some guys in free agency, kind of bulk up this team. Honestly, I think the Devils are going to be running the Met division for years to come. Like for the next 5 years, I think you're going to see the Devils winning this
Yeah,
division
yeah.
pretty
The Caps
handily.
are like look like they're rebuilding, and then the Penguins are locked
Yeah.
up with that old core, which is probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the Canes. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. There's actually like some there's really two teams really going at it in the Met. So it's probably gonna be Devils Canes kind of just going at it every
Yeah,
year.
this could be a big time rivalry coming up in the
Yeah.
near future, like Devils Canes. This might just be the start of it. And then I saw today that the GM Tom Fitzgerald there, he announced that Lindy Ruff was coming
Yeah, I
back next
saw
year. I'm
that.
like,
Yep.
well, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, why would you not bring back Lindy Ruff, dude? You could,
Yeah, the
potentially
sky's
could be
blue.
Jack Adams winner. Like,
Yeah, the sky's blue.
yeah, they had like what 60? They had like 60 points last year, and then they get like 100 plus this year. Like the biggest turnaround in point differential.
Yeah,
like,
most.
I think all
It was
time or
most
something, like something
most
crazy.
points in franchise history, 112.
Yeah, crazy.
Lindy Ruff, I like Lindy.
But yeah,
he's
no,
nasty. I think he's a great coach.
Yeah, great coach. I loved him too. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, Rod the Bod made more adjustments and had his team better prepared for this.
Skin and Elks.
Devils, yeah, they're in a good spot. Canes were just too much for them this series. All right, let's move on to Western Conference now. We'll start with Edmonton and Vegas. Flip the script here. You boys are right on this one. I was odd man out with Edmonton. So let's hear your thoughts from Vegas this series.
Bruce Cassidy. Believe in Bruce, baby. So we've been beating this dead horse since like last year about how whoever's gonna land Bruce Cassidy is gonna make a deep run. And right when he like made that signing with the Vegas Golden Knights, I was like, honestly, dude, like I wouldn't be surprised, like, cause like yeah, they were kind of like had like they didn't make the playoffs last year, whatever, kind of a disappointing season and all that. Jack Eichel didn't really like look like Jack Eichel, and dude, this team, man, like this is gonna be a team to beat, man, right? Like for like years to come, just because their core right now is fucking nasty. Jack Eichel's playing unbelievable. Bruce has the boys going. He has all like the power plays looking pretty good. Like their 5-on-5 game is unbelievable. Like they shut down the Oilers. You know what I mean? Like and they have the best power play in like league history. McDavid, Draisaitl, Evander Kane, like you know what I mean? There's like Nugent Hopkins. That was a pretty deep team when it came to like scoring, and they held them to like what game 6 it was 5-2 or something like that. They held them like they were down early and they came back and won. And there was a lot of like question marks going into the year with like these goalies, dude. Aiden Hill, like what the fuck? Like he even knew this guy was gonna even be a net for them in the playoffs, and he's been stepping up and doing his thing. So, yeah, like it's honestly amazing to see like what's going on. And if Bruce Cassidy does win a Stanley Cup, if I was him, I'd have the day with the cup in Boston, take a picture with Don Sweeney with my fucking dick in my hand. But no, I know I'm
That'd be unbelievable.
here, but yeah, that's my thoughts on what's going on over in the West. And the West is the one. I'm a big fan of watching the West because like that's the only conference that I can actually confidently pick right now because I can't fucking pick the shit in the East.
So,
but believe it or not, some people are just catching wind of how good of a coach Bruce Cassidy is.
Yeah, weird, right?
Weird.
It was such a like that
weird.
Vegas team, such a good fit for Bruce. Like older core defensemen that don't care if they get yelled at. Probably an older core, like not too old, but like a good core of forwards who don't care if they get yelled at off the bench. You know, it must be nice for him. He probably doesn't get bitched at by upper management, getting complaints. But anyway, so Bruce Cassidy should be getting like all the praise right now. The way he's coaching this team, like it's just. You got like Pietrangelo playing. I mean, he was being a scumbag in that series, but like you need stuff like that to edge your team and to like soften up the other team. Like you see, Draisaitl probably just appeared right after he got two-handed. It's scumbag shit, but it works. Like the villain stuff works. Yeah, I just like the way the Golden Knights play. they're like the opposite of every team in the West. They play like this hard nose, other than maybe the Kraken. Kraken are like their JV team. They play like a hard nosed defensive game, but they can score goals. And it's kind of kryptonite to teams like the Stars and the Oilers, where they pride themselves on is offense. Like, score as many goals as you can. You can outscore your opponent, but the Knights are just won't let that happen. They try to stay out of the box and play a good PK when they have to. But yeah, they dominated the Oilers. The Oilers got a few good ones on them, but they couldn't keep. The Stuart Skinner stunk like that whole series too. Like they got no help on the back end, and like they're just not deep enough. They're top heavy offensively, the Oilers, but they don't have the horses on the back.
Dude, I've never been a fan of Stuart Skinner. I think he's a fraud. Honestly, I've never been a fan.
I think it's the best goalie they've had in a
like,
while,
like
which
this.
is saying a lot.
And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's a start for them. They need help on they need defense. I mean, the Ekholm, what was it? Is it Ekholm? T.S. Ekholm? That was a start. Like, he's a solid defenseman. That was a start. Like, they need more guys like that. They just don't. Like, they got that guy Desjardins. I wonder what podcast he was on. But he stunk, too. Like, he was just fucking hacking people up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was loyal to the Oil here. I had to do it. And I have no excuses for the Oilers, honestly. The Knights were just the better team, hands down. Edmonton could only score in the power play. Yeah. Really, 5-on-5, they got dominated. The only time Edmonton could score was a man up. And, yes, you guys said Stuart Skinner stinks. I'll take a page out of Felger and Maz's book. Stuart Skinner blows.
Sucks and blows.
Dude, he blows. Honestly, if they could have had a competent goaltender, Edmonton probably could have won this series. But Stuart Skinner was atrocious. He was all right in the regular season. When it came playoff time, dude, he was awful, dude. He was so bad. I would have thrown in Jack Campbell, because Stuart Skinner was not helping you out whatsoever. Like, Edmonton would score, get some momentum. 30 seconds later, Vegas rips one on net, goal, tie game. And you're just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, they just couldn't gain any momentum because Stuart Skinner couldn't make a damn save, dude, when you needed it. And then on the flip side, dude, Vegas had, these no-name goalies, Laurent Brossoit and then Aiden Hill, and they both held their own. Like, Brossoit was playing well, and then he, blew out his hip, dude. He looked like a grandmother. Like,
that looked bad.
It was like non-contact.
Probably needs hip replacement.
Non-contact, too, I think.
And that looked bad. And he had, hip surgery, a year ago or something like that, too. So he might be all done. And then I'm like, all right, here we go. Edmonton's time to shine. They're down to, the fifth-string goalie, Aiden Hill. Who the hell is this guy? He comes in. He held his own, dude. He was phenomenal in Game 6. Edmonton scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes, and then Aiden Hill was lights out the rest of the game.
They put up a 5
too. Yeah, so, Vegas just getting good goaltending from these no-name guys.
To touch on the Jack Campbell, put some context in the Jack Campbell thing. This postseason, 4 games played. He had 1 win, 2 goals against, with a 1.02 goals against. And he had a .961 save percentage. That's
how's he not starting?
How doesn't he play it? Yeah, how does he get a shot
like,
with those stats though? At least 1 game.
Yeah, and you just riding a rookie goaltender into the friggin' ground, and Stuart Skinner, guy clearly showed that he was rattled. And Jack Campbell was the guy they went out and paid this year too. They paid him
that's like
year.
Swayman and Allmark.
Yeah.
That was brutal. On whoever's call, Woodcroft, I don't know whose call that was, but how does Jack Campbell not get any starts? That blew my mind.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the answer.
Wow, I'm looking at these stats.
It's the guy you went out and paid, and you didn't even play him. What are you
wasting money? That's a fireable offense, I think, isn't it? You don't give the $5 million goalie
someone should be canned for that.
Yeah. I'd say probably the GM at least.
I don't know who.
Probably, the GM doesn't get fired in the NHL. It's always the coach. because the scapegoat, that's just like traditional.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'd probably be Woodcroft, and they probably like Woodcroft, so they probably like sweeping it underneath the rug.
Yeah. But no, overall, this was a good series. It was entertaining. It was chippy as hell, too, dude. You had Evander Kane out there just doing Evander Kane
Scumbag things.
Petrangelo, this was the only gripe I had about this series was Petrangelo's slash on Draisaitl was egregious, dude. That
was bad.
Dude, I don't know how he only got one game. He shouldn't have been on the ice for the rest of the series. Like, Draisaitl, superstar of the league, leading the playoffs in goals, guy's on an absolute tear. And then end of the game, he tries to go for an empty netter, not even remotely close to the play anymore. And Petrangelos comes in, two-hand hack job across the wrist. It looked like the scene from Mighty Ducks when Adam Banks scores, and he's like selling, and then guy in like Iceland comes over and just hacks his wrist off. Like, oh yeah, Iceland. That was egregious.
That was one scene in a movie. This brought me back flashbacks. That was the one scene in a movie that I've actually been like
rattled,
physically pissed off about. You know what I mean? Like you're watching it, and then like you get slashed, and you stand up at the for the TV. You're like, what the fuck was that? Like you act like it was like a real thing. Like, what was that?
That was a slash.
I mean, that was a wild
thing. I mean, maybe Pietrangelo only got one game because Draisaitl, like, thankfully didn't get injured. Like, if Draisaitl broke his wrist on that, like, that would have been the most criminal thing I've ever seen. Like, just taking out a superstar with a two-hand slash like that. That was bad. Player safety fucked that one up. No idea how he got one, and then who was it? Was it Darnell Nurse got one too?
So this is
the game. Like, how is
so
that?
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. That's why they only got one game. Well, Pietrangelo got one game is because they retaliated. Oilers, and that's what the league saw. They're like, all right, we're gonna give Nurse one game.
You have to in that
situation. They only gave Pietrangelo. They punished both Oilers. Woodcroft got fined, and Darnell Nurse got one game. And the coach, Bruce Cassidy, just flew under the radar. He was just like, nothing happened to me. I'm not getting fined for shit.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't shock me, dude, because player safety's been awful, like, all season, all postseason long.
It's been the whole entire year.
Yeah, it's like, what else is new? You know what I mean? They butchered another suspension, and or they only gave someone a fine for something egregious. Like, doesn't surprise me. In Draisaitl too, in the handshake line, just gave Pietrangelo.
Yeah, he pulled his hand. He pulled his hand. Yeah.
Like, I would have done the same. I probably wouldn't even shook his hand, honestly. Like, I lost some respect for Pietrangelo.
Leo's just a class act, though.
But yeah, that was it about this series. Yeah. Other than that, just Vegas was the better team. Edmonton just wasn't deserving. Wasn't deserving of moving on with
too many goals.
I do want to bring up. Yeah, you can't let in that many goals and expect to win.
March is so fucking took over.
I do want to bring up one more thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Marshall's a dog. I do want to bring up one more thing before we move on to our last series. And it's that, you constantly hear people bitching about, the Oilers and like, oh, McDavid and Draisaitl, they don't have enough help. They got to go out and get these guys some help. Well, dug up a little info on Edmonton, in the past, 6 years or so. Edmonton has had plenty of chances to add to the core and help out McDavid and Draisaitl, and they've absolutely blown it. And it starts with the draft. So going back to 2015, Edmonton Oilers had the chance to draft a guy named Matt Barzal, pretty decent, probably would be a good fit with McDavid and Draisaitl. He plays a similar game. Instead of drafting Matt Barzal, they drafted Griffin Reinhart.
Who?
No idea. Yeah,
Sam Reinhart's third brother,
and then
twice removed.
Yeah, and then it doesn't end there either. So the next year, 2016 draft, they could have drafted a guy named Matt Tkachuk, pretty decent, right? Going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Instead of drafting Matt Tkachuk, they drafted Jesse Puljujarvi.
Oh, he stinks.
Oh, my God.
Well, he's on the Canes right now.
And then one more. Yeah, he hasn't done dog shit. He's like fourth line. And then, so wasn't once, wasn't twice. they had to do it a third time in 2017. Could have had Jake
Ooh.
Ottinger. Could have had
A
themselves
goalie.
a cornerstone
That's the one I
goaltender.
think is like
Instead,
Jesus.
they drafted Kyler Yamamoto.
Oh my God, honestly,
dude.
he's like
So-
that's
That
like
dude's
Grizzly.
that dude's a third
That's
liner.
like having Grizzly on the Bruins. It's like a dead weight.
So enough of people bitching that McDavid and Draisaitl don't have any help, because there's 3 prime examples of them could have had, franchise altering guys in any of those. If they draft one of those guys, they probably already have won a cup by now. If they have either Matt Barzal, Matt Tkachuk, or Jake Ottinger, they've probably already won a Stanley Cup, maybe 2.
I
So,
think
it's their own fault. I don't feel
the
bad. for them.
Ottinger one is a debacle. That you need a goalie, go get the goalie. BU does bring out good goalies.
Right.
Like, I think that's where you want the goalies
They
out from college, not maybe the pros, but good goalies come out of the Hockey East all the time.
Yeah, so I was loyal to the Oil. I love McDavid. I hope he wins a cup, but no more boo-hoo for McDavid and the Oilers. Like, they got to go out and do something. They can't just keep swinging and missing. With signing Jack Campbell, he stinks. Signing Darnell Nurse for $9 million a year, that guy stinks. Like, it's just bad.
Does he
contract
really
after
get
bad
that much?
contract.
Does he actually make that much?
Just shooting himself in the foot. 9.2.
Wait, Darnell Nurse? Jesus.
Darnell Nurse.
What?
9.2
What
a year.
to get cardio? It's expensive cardio. Who did they pick instead of Rupe Hintz? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
I know who the
their ass.
Bruins picked instead of Rupe Hintz, and you guys will want to kill yourselves. That kid Forbaka Carlson.
I don't even want to know.
It's like Jacob Forbaka Carlson. The
Nice.
kid doesn't even play hockey anymore. He's a head case. He quit, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, Jacob Forbaka Carlson or
sick
something.
draft.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah,
who
he
it
quit
is,
now on.
Probably the two worst drafting teams in the league: Boston Bruins and Edmonton Oilers. All right, let's move on to our last series recap here. It was Dallas Stars, Seattle Kraken. Longest series in the second round. This one went 7. Boys were all on the Stars again. Consensus for the Stars pays off for the second time this postseason. What was your thoughts, boys, on Stars Kraken?
Yeah, I mean, I picked. Well, me and Coco picked them in 7, Stars in 7, but
Bang.
yeah, right on the money, baby. Money shot. So, dude, the Kraken, the reason why I picked them in 7 is because the Kraken have shown that they're they're kind of like the Florida Panthers. They have the relentless forecheck. They're good neutral zone presence. They're hard to even transition on. Grubauer played unbelievable. That dude was a fucking legit pigeon. But the past 2 years got dished off by Avalanche. Was an unprotected player. Got pigeon tossed over to Seattle. Had kind of a so-so year the first year of their expansion team, and then just turns it on in this playoff. Knocks out his former team, the Avalanche. Almost knocked out the Stars, dude. He played unbelievable. He was their best player by far. In that playoff, dude. That was impressive. But Stars, man, they're too much to handle. They're too many veterans. Their score. We talking about scoring depth. That team has scoring depth. All 3 lines can score any matter of seconds. You know what I mean? And their D core is pretty solid too. So, the boys are on the Stars again. So there you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Grubauer. I guess didn't Grubauer sign with the Kraken though? I was saying the same thing. He didn't actually sign. He didn't get picked in the draft thing or whatever it was. I guess he signed with them because he was unrestricted free agent. So he didn't get pigeon toss.
No, he
signed a big contract.
No, he was unprotected.
Yeah, no, but I think he was a free. I think he was a free agent
though.
either way.
Yeah.
So it wasn't they picked his contract up. They actually paid him, I think. But anyway, so Yeah, the Seattle Kraken are a team like that is like going to be a problem, I think, coming up next couple of years. Like if they can get some scoring depth,
Yeah.
like they're built to play from ahead. Like if they get the first goal, they're winning the game big time. That happened a lot during Colorado, like even games during the start. Once Kraken score, that's when you hammer them live bet. You're like, yep, they're gone. They're gonna win because I think they won all their games from ahead. And if once I saw like the game 7 when the Stars scored the first goal with Rupe, like just snapped, I was like, oh, they're gonna win because the Seattle's like they're not like totally young, but they got some young pieces like Matty Beniers who are gonna be that kid's gonna be a stud. Like he played so well during these playoffs. But anyway, so I'm gonna go the Stars, and the Stars they're deep. They're very deep. It's just like how gritty are they? Are they gonna be able to score goals and get in the dirty areas? Like that's the and well Ottinger, like they got the goaltending, like he is so fucking nasty. And like who was their like an unsung hero for the Stars that no one will talk about is Wyatt Johnson, the 20-year-old kid is fucking nasty. That goal he scored last night and when he went backhand short side backhand roof job on Grubauer to send the Stars to Western. Oh, that was he did more than tucking Grubauer.
How's your burger?
Yeah, that kid is a stud.
He tucked your sister into bed that night.
and then they got Pavelski. He looks like the young Pavelski out there. Like early in the playoff, he scored 4 goals in that game. They look good. It's just they're running. I think they're gonna run into a brick wall coming up. Those Vegas Golden Knights, man. But they're looking good. Rupe stepping up. Love to see it.
Yeah, this was a great series. Like Bob mentioned, we nailed this one. Stars in 7. How to give the Kraken the respect that they deserve. I mean, they took out the defending champs, and they could have had this series too. These were 2 evenly matched teams too, and that's kind of why I saw this one going 7 from the beginning. It was a weird goaltending matchup. Like going in, you're like, okay, Grubauer, Ottinger, definitely. You would think that the Stars had the advantage there in goaltending, but I don't know, man. Grubauer kind of outplayed Ottinger. Like, Ottinger showed flashes of being really good, like in Game 7. But then there was some games he was just, like, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, got shelled a couple of those games. We saw Wedgwood a time or two because Ottinger was so bad. But, he got it done in the end. And in playoff Rupe, man, he's second in scoring these playoffs. Nine goals, 10 assists, 19 points. He's breaking out big time. He's stepping up. And, I just dumped on the Oilers for a team that drafts terrible. Talk about a team who drafts well. Dude, this is the 2017 Dallas Stars draft. They drafted Miro Heiskanen, 3rd overall. Nasty. They then snagged Jake Ottinger, 26th overall. And they weren't done. They snagged Jason RoboCop Robertson, 39th overall, all in the same
the first
draft.
40 picks, they got 3. Their whole fucking organization. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Dude, that GM deserves a steak and a blowjob after that.
I think honestly,
Dude,
more than
seriously.
that. He needs more than that.
Yeah, I got to touch on I got to touch on Miro Heiskanen here for a sec. I can't let him fly under the radar because, dude, Heiskanen is an absolute beast. He played over 30 minutes time on ice in games 4 and 7. He leads all players in the playoffs in average time on ice this postseason. He's only 23 years old. He's played over 60 playoff games already. This guy's a stallion, dude. He's an absolute workhorse on that blue line. Like a guy who just doesn't get talked about much. He's not up there getting nominated for Norris trophies or any of that. He took a puck deflected off the face too, and he rocked the window for the rest of the series. Like, he's a savage, dude. Miro Heiskanen, he's just holding down that blue line for Dallas. And in Seattle, I'll talk about them quickly before we move on. Seattle, I look at them similar to the Devils. I think they got a bright future in front of them. They got some young guys, Matty Beniers, Morgan Geeky. They got a good team. They have like a bunch of like just like second line like role players, and like that's it. They don't have any like superstars out there. It's a bunch of role guys who know their job, do it well. And they block shots like
Matty Beniers.
anyone else.
Matty
Like,
Beniers is loading
I can't
right
believe
now.
how many shots they block. Yeah, so like he could be, if he turns out to be the superstar we think he is, like then the Seattle Kraken are going to be a problem. And we've seen a couple expansion teams, Vegas and Seattle, have instant success in this league, and whatever it is that the expansion draft has been really paying off. They've done a good job drafting the right guys. Let's put it that way. These role guys, if you want to call them that, but they really came out and showed that. They're no scrubs, because I don't think anyone had Seattle getting past the first round. Like, show me a guy who said Seattle was getting by Colorado. And I'll
GM Ronnie Francis. He won the cup with Rod the Bod with the Canes.
Did he? Shout out Dave Hackstall too. Jack Adams nominated.
Hey, what did I say? Remember we did those mid-season awards? I said Dave Hackstall, best coach. Remember?
Yeah.
Where's everyone?
Up there. I don't see why he
where's
couldn't
everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like Coke, you mentioned who had like Seattle like out of the first round or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a stat today that out of like it was a little bit over 1 million brackets worldwide. There's been 14 correct, like so far, or something like that.
Up
like
until
some
this
nuts.
point.
Yeah. Like 14 correct or some shit. So like some people actually fucking saw this shit coming. You know what I mean? That's fucking nuts. You know what I mean?
There's probably someone's like dog picked it. Like they put like treats on the ground. It's like, all right, Colorado, Seattle, and the dogs just like pick Seattle or something.
Yeah, it just like sniffs one treat, the other one, and like it's like Colorado about to bite it, and then just like sniff the other one. Fucking picked it up. All right, Seattle.
It's like that Corgi. Have you guys seen that Corgi who like predicts like series? He hits like a beach ball into like a basket.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably like who the 14 people who actually picked those right.
Oh yeah, there's no way people actually actually thought that.
Yeah, because there's no hockey minds who actually saw Seattle beating Colorado and then almost beating Dallas too.
Yeah, if they beat Dallas, dude, I would have just been like, "Fuck this," you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, dude, it's like it was so hard to predict like this whole entire. The first round was just like, what's going on? Like I thought I was in a complete different universe.
In my bracket for our pool, I had Bruins versus Avs in the Cup Finals.
Really?
Yeah, brutal.
I had Bruins Stars, I think.
Yeah, but I did have Dallas and Carolina in the conference final. So like I was first. I was in first after the first round, but then I had the least amount of points left because both my Cup finalists are out. So I was like, I already lost.
Yeah, the East fell apart for me, man. I think I had Bruins Rags or something in the Eastern Conference Final, and then I'm actually my Western Conference Final stayed intact though. I had Vegas and Stars.
Oh, let's go. It's been tough, intact. Dude. Like I said, it's been pretty unpredictable. You gotta expect the unexpected here. So why don't we dive into our conference finals preview here? We'll break down each matchup, give some predictions. Before we do, though, I got a couple things I want to point out. One being that I saw this stat today. There's not a single player who makes over $10 million a year that will be playing in the conference.
Yeah, finals. I saw that.
So that's disgusting.
Makes you think. Makes you think a little bit. Like, are those big contracts worth it? Do they pay off? I don't know. This year, no. It is a hard cap league. It is a hard cap league. Putting all your eggs in one basket.
It's a Tom Brady effect, dude. You gotta do the Tom Brady shit.
Yeah, exactly. Hometown discount.
Well, you know what I saw there? I was like, I commented on that post. I think maybe you saw the same one, Coco, but I was like, where's Nate Dogg? And so he's like, his contract doesn't kick in until next year. I'm like, okay, like, I just don't get like the whole difference. Like it's
I don't know why he
what.
Yeah, I don't know why he wasn't.
He
on that
should
list.
be. I don't care if you're not making it yet. You're like gonna make that money. So like, I get it. They should be able to scrap the contract and be like, all right, so like you're not making 9 this year. You're just gonna make 12. Somebody commented, "Oh, he's on his it doesn't kick in until next year." I'm like, dude, he's still making probably what 9.5 anyway. But I think he should be up there anyway. But
Yeah, he's right up there.
and Pasta too. Pasta.
And then one thing I want to ask you. Yeah, he should be on. Well, yeah, I guess his contract again doesn't kick in
it's the
until next
same.
year. But another guy, getting paid a ton of money that isn't playing in these conference finals. Just a point I wanted to make there. And I have one more thing for you boys. So a lot of people going around, after the second round, has played out. A lot of people are saying that these conference finals matchups are bad for hockey. Being that these are considered small market teams, and the fact that all these teams are based in the southern states. What's your boys' thoughts on that?
No, dude, no. I think that's completely false. If anything, this is probably growing the game because I know the state of Texas has been growing just because like how the Stars have been since like 2000. They've won a couple of Stanley Cups and just like had like a lot of success, and like I know over in Vegas, dude. Like when I was in the military, there was a lot of people. Like even after the first year, like the first year they made it to the Stanley Cup final, lost to the Caps.
Yeah.
Dude, they have a massive fan base out in Vegas. It's like honestly like crazy. I was honestly pretty astounded when I found out how much support they have over there in the desert with that. And I mean the Panthers are just like they play in like a fucking like a retirement community, so I can see like why it's kind of hard for them to have some fans and all that. But in Carolina, I think they have a pretty decent fan base over there, the Caniacs. But I think because it's nice having like Southern teams make it and like go deep because I think it's good for the game. It's gonna grow because people are gonna be like all those like local like people around there. Like, oh yeah, like this our team's in the conference finals and the Stanley Cup finals. I'll give it a watch. And then people start watching the hockey itself and start getting into the games more. Maybe want to get their kids in it and all that. I think I've seen the numbers. Like I think hockey is growing, especially in like obviously Arizona, California has been like it's kind of like been going around, and the fact that Seattle has a team now, I think it's just like it's just growing, which is good. Like hockey should have more what's the word? Should have more exposure because it's such a good game and people it's an underrated game for no reason. You know what I mean? Like it's the best of both worlds. You got physicality and skill. A bunch of like the best athletes in the world play hockey.
Snipsky, what do you think?
I'm sorry. What was the question completely? I know because I had to let the cat out. That damn cat got in the fucking room.
Oh,
yeah.
That damn cat. No, I was just saying that there's a lot of people going around saying that the conference finals matchups is bad for hockey because they're considered small market teams and because all the teams are based in the South.
I mean, the only reason, yeah, I mean,
disagree?
I agree just because it's not good for the league cap-wise because all the TV revenue, like, adds onto the cap. So, say if the Bruins, if we were in it, all the local people will be watching the game, this, that, like, it get more watches on national television. So the cap will go up because the television exposure will raise the cap. It's just... That's why, like, Florida, like, people in Florida, people aren't going to watch it. So it's just, like, less exposure for the game. So in that sense, it's bad because it's bad for I'll tie it in with the Bruins because the Bruins have this cap issue and it's not going up. It's just going to go down because of the exposure to the game. But in what Bob was saying, like, yeah, like, in, like, small areas where hockey's not that popular and people don't really play it, like Florida, like, kids get to look up to like Matthew Tkachuk because he's such a great hockey player. I'd want my kid to play like how he plays with like the rat mentality, but he's got skill and he's got heart and he'll rip your face off just to win the game, Seattle, or we're just talking about the four, but like Carolina's got a sneaky good fan base. Like it's kind of a fucking bear den going in there. Like the Bruins didn't have good success going in there ever. Vegas has like people that are homegrown that are like not a lot, but Vegas people, but like people that just move there and like love gambling and like just want to be a part of that show that they throw. That's a friggin' like before the game. You know how they like shoot off like fucking fire, whatever the fuck they do. And then the stars is like
Yeah.
they're kind of they got roots. Like they got Brett Hull, Mike Modano. Uh, who's the goalie that they had that was very good for a while there? I can't think of his name. Yeah, Ed
Belfour.
Belfour was like, yeah,
Ed
they're very like they have the most roots I think out of anyone in this. Like they have more history than anybody, but yeah, for like Dallas, it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't help their like fan base, but everyone else and Carolina and the Stars kind of have like their niche fan base already locked in, but like the Vegas and Florida is definitely gonna help more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much this is going to affect the ratings. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think this is a bigger issue that stems from the beginning of the season and just how poorly of a job that they do in marketing the
Yeah,
game of hockey.
I agree.
Like, I know they got that deal with ESPN, but like there's a game on ESPN like maybe once a week. So it's like, what was even the point of that contract with ESPN? They don't cover as much hockey. Like even on ESPN, like dude, there was like that one clip of like one of the ESPN shows talking about like, oh, when's the last time like New York has won a championship in sports, or like what team has the best chance of winning, and then someone was like Rangers, and the guy was like, oh well, that doesn't count. It's like, what do you mean that doesn't fucking count? Like the Rangers are one of the highest fucking valued hockey franchises in the league, dude. Like, what do you mean hockey doesn't count like for a major championship? Like, just it goes back to shit like that. That's a joke.
Hockey's
like, I don't think the matchups honestly matter at all. I think like if you're a diehard hockey fan, like you're gonna tune in no matter what. And honestly, I think these series are gonna be awesome. Like I could see both of these going 7. So I think once people see it, they're gonna be tuning in. And the fan bases like you guys have mentioned, like Vegas, dude. Vegas is a huge market that's been growing, bigger and bigger every year. They added a football team to Vegas. They're adding a baseball team to Vegas now. And the Knights were the first sports team to start in Vegas. Like they started something in that city. And I think Vegas has diehard fans. Hockey in Texas is getting big too. Dallas, that's they're not an original 6 team, but they've been around for quite a while. Like you said, they got some roots. They got some history. They got some diehard
got
fans
throwback
too.
unis.
The Caniacs are out of their fucking minds, dude. The Caniacs, dude, are absolutely nuts, dude. Like think of Carolina. There's not much sports around there. Like I think they root for like the Braves as like the closest like team out there. So it's like they have the Canes right in their home state. Like they're selling out every game. The only one you can make the argument for is the Panthers. Yeah, they live in like the retirement
Sunrise,
as people call it, outside of Fort Lauderdale,
Sunrise, Florida.
I think. So like that's the only market I could see that might bring down the ratings, if you want to say that. But other than that, dude, it's like I don't know. I think people like making that a story are kind of nuts, but that's just what people do, dude. They make
it's just hockey is so competitive. Like that's why you don't get the teams that you think you want. You know what I mean? Like Florida Panthers, like the Bruins. The Bruins. It just showed how like not far apart those both teams were coming in. It's just that's how competitive it is.
Yeah, and there's no rig in hockey like these other leagues, dude. Rig these matchups so that they have the like ideal championship. Like, watch, it's gonna be Celtics Lakers because that's gonna bring in the most viewers. Me. Boston, LA, and then look at like the most recent Super Bowls too. They did like the Chiefs in the Bucks a couple years ago, and like everyone wanted to see Brady versus Mahomes and all that. Like every other fucking league is rigged and corrupt, dude. That's why in the NHL it's so unique because like you literally never know what you're gonna get. Like you can see 8 seeds make runs to the finals, like we're seeing with the Panthers, like we saw with the Kings.
I was gonna say,
like it's so unpredictable. It's hockey.
Yo, so Stephen A. Smith's the one that said that about like hockey not counting.
Yeah, he's
whatever. Dude, he's a fucking pussy. I've never liked that clown. Dude, and like the fact, like I'm getting riled up now just because, like, dude, like, we're all passionate about hockey. Everyone knows that hockey is the hardest fucking sport to
Yeah,
win
the
a
cup.
championship for,
You know?
in any level. Let me just say this: every single NBA fan out there, you cannot say that like LeBron or anyone's tough. They're
Yeah,
not tough.
I
They're
like
fucking
that.
pussies. They're massive divas. They have a hangnail. They have a hangnail in their fucking outfit for fucking 3 weeks. Dude, there's been 5 players in this playoff that's taking a puck, a stick, whatever, to their fucking face. And they're getting like inside stitches in their lips, their face, whatever. And they put a bubble on, go right out there, and they block fucking 4 or 5 more shots. And they're probably tougher than anyone you ever met in your entire life. So shut the
What
fuck up about how hockey doesn't
what
fucking count.
about
You got, like, if you have a problem with me, fucking out, meet me outside, you fucking clowns. I hate, dude. Stephen A. Smith is like the biggest fucking clown. Dude, he doesn't even have any good takes. He just talks loud and he's just wicked obnoxious.
Right?
Dude,
Yeah.
he just gives me a fucking headache. I can't stand that guy. The fact that he said that, he has no credibility.
Yeah,
Fuck
because
that guy.
you talk
Honestly.
loud. Because
shit
you
just pissed
talk
me
loud
off.
doesn't mean you're right. And you know who took the meanest puck I've ever seen to the face this postseason was Sebastian Aho, and it went into his own net. That
Oh,
was,
yeah.
dude. You see his fucking face,
That was
dude. After
tough.
it was fucking ripped, like he looked like the Joker.
Yeah. And Bob, just to add to your point, like we all know hockey players are tougher than basketball players. Anthony Davis the other night got fucking taken out on a wheelchair because he got like elbowed in the head.
Yeah.
Like that's a joke, dude.
And he was probably completely fine.
Oh,
for the
he
next,
played
like, 10
last
minutes.
night.
He played the
Yeah,
next
played last
night.
You know
Yeah.
what's where the NBA?
Yeah, and he dropped
Yeah, you
40.
know where the NBA fucked up is letting these guys make this like all these theatrics a part of the game, because like they're like flop, and then the ref blows the whistle, he goes foul. You know what I mean? They let them like fucking do it. In hockey, it's like a guy falls, it's embellishment. Like that's a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like the NBA let embellishment happen. Like oh, that's a call. Like changes the game.
Yeah, it's a joke. NBA is a joke of a league. Everyone.
Oh,
knows that.
sick league, right, Bob?
But we won't sit here all night and rant about basketball. So let's recap last round, in our predictions. So Snipsky led the way again, second straight round. He went 3-1 and nailed one of his correct series with the number of games. So he went 4-1. Bob went 2-2, nailing 2 of his exact series predictions. So he went 4-2. And I also went 2-2, nailed the one star series, stars in 7. So I went 3-2. So here we are in the year now. It's tight. I remain first, but the lead's getting slimmer and slimmer. I'm 76, 60-1. Snipsky is only 2 games behind at 74, 62-1. And Bob is in third at 66, 64-1. So that is where we're at with our current Evander Kane standings. We still have conference finals and Stanley Cup finals predictions. Why don't we dive into it? Start with the East. We're going to have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Florida Panthers. Snipsky, being the winningest person on this podcast, second week in a row, I think you have honors of going first here. Canes, Panthers, let's go.
So this is probably the toughest series I think we have to pick. I do like the Florida Panthers in this series, maybe just because of the goaltending, and goalie Bob looks good. I'm gonna go with Panthers in 7, just like I did last series, and it's gonna be a long one, I think.
The Peas?
Cats
Peas
in
in
7.
7? Let's go. You've been riding the Panthers. You've been the only one on.
I like them.
Been paying off. Bob, what about you?
Dude, I can't pick the Eastern Conference to save my fucking life. So I don't even know, man. These are both the teams I faded 2 rounds in a row. I'm gonna go back to my roots, man. I was all over him last year. I'm going. Give me the Caniacs. I'm a Caniac this round. Give me the Canes. I think like Rod the Bod. I think he's just gonna have the boys ready to go. Skin some elk, fucking all that stuff. Like I'd like give him the whole rah speech. It's just like the goaltending's kind of like whatever. Like Vinny's right. Like the goaltending's like definitely leans like one way, but I think the Canes are just such a deep team. Like the decor alone can probably just shut down that forecheck and handle that forecheck from the Panthers. So I'm gonna go with the Canes.
Canes in how many?
I'll go 7.
7. I've been waiting for you to hop on the Canes bandwagon, Bob. I was gonna say you're a big Caniac last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling them this year. I don't know why. Like because I made like a lofty like pick again, like for the Islanders and knock them out first round. But yeah, I'm back on them though. A little hiatus.
So I think this series is going to be an absolute bloodbath of a series. Like this is going to be some of the grittiest hockey I think we've ever seen. And what it's going to come down to is honestly just who has more grit. It's going to be tough to tell. We're going to have to wait and see. Two teams, very similar styles. Both of these teams just, bread and butter is the forecheck. They're relentless on the forecheck on both ends. And I would hate to be a defenseman on either team this series because as soon as that puck is dumped in, you're going to be looking over your shoulder. There's going to be a guy coming down your fucking back, dude, ready to just bury you. But this is going to be a great series. I'm really looking forward to it. Couple storylines here. We got the 3 Stahl brothers battling it out. Eric and Mark versus Eric and Mark versus Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan's the captain for the Canes, yeah.
Canes, yeah. And then Eric and Mark on the Panthers. I don't think any of them have ever won.
No, Jordan Stahl, he's won it with the Pens.
Pens, oh yeah, you're right.
And Eric Stahl won it with the Canes.
There's a lot of cups.
Was he? Oh yeah.
Mark's the only one who doesn't have one. I'm pretty sure. Because he was on the Rangers for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
He might be due now. Mark might be due. I might have picked the wrong team.
But yeah, so we got the Stahl brothers battling out. That's going to be awesome to see. The coaching history here, or I guess the relationship between these two coaches. You got Rod the Bod, who's a former player of Paul Maurice. They won 2 cups together as a player and coach. And then now it's coming full circle. Now you got Rod the Bod facing off against Paul Maurice as coaches to see who's going to go to the Stanley Cup. Is this a passing of the torch?
Could be.
I don't know. And Paul Maurice,
he's coaching his ass off.
Coach. I think he's like top 5 in wins all time. He's a great coach. But I don't know. Maybe this is passing the torch. Maybe Paul Maurice is going to be passing off to Rod the Bod. Teravainen, he's going to be back for Carolina. They said he was probably going to be out to the Cup Finals, but he's going to be back. That's a big addition. I just don't think that I think he's ready to go. I just think that Carolina, I don't think they've been getting enough credit all year. I think for whatever reason, they've kind of just been like under the radar team, but they've been consistently good all season long. Everyone's downplayed Carolina because of, the Svechnikov injury. But I think this team has just proven that they're deep enough to get the job done without him. And it's a big loss, but this team is just so good. Steady Freddie and net. They play lockdown D, just the grit up front with these forwards. I'm a full-blown Caniac. I'm also invested in the Canes. I got the future on them to win the Cup. Didn't want to bring it up, but I had to. So I'm going Canes in 7. I don't think this is going to be easy whatsoever. I'm going to be sweating my ass off every night, every game. I'm going Canes. Canes in 7.
Let's go.
Been riding them all postseason. Can't stop.
Lock it in.
Let's go. Caniac, baby. So we got Snipsky, Panthers in 7. Bob and I, Canes in 7. We everyone's got it going 7. So none of us deny.
Yeah, it's going to be a grind.
Series.
It's going to be a grind.
All right, let's move on to the West, where it's going to be a grind fest. Let's move on to the West, where we got another big series here, another good one. Dallas Stars, Vegas Knights. Who wants to go first? Who wants?
All right, I'll go first. So I have the Stars future to make it out of the Western Conference. right? But I also love Bruce Cassidy. I want him to win the cup. I am torn between these two teams. So, this is what I'm going to do.
Fade.
I just want to have a good time watching this series, right? So I'm taking Vegas to win the series in 7. But on the other side, if they don't win, then I get money. You know,
All right,
so
that's
that's the
smart.
both worlds. So I'll get a pod win.
Or, yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. That's my thought process.
That's a smart move. You're hedging your bet without hedging it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like there we go. I'll either have money or I'll have a better record on the pod. It's all good because I like both teams. I rode both teams all like the whole entire playoff, and I'm just like a proud dad. It's like my 2 kids are playing against each other. I'm just proud. Like I'm wearing both jerseys, whatever. Like put different numbers on the sides and just root for whoever. So it's gonna be a good series though. That's going 7 as well. Vegas and 7.
Snipsky, what about you? What are you thinking here?
Yeah,
so
yeah, Bruce Cassidy, big Bruce guy. So I'm going with the Knights also in 6. I think it's going to be a shorter series because I think when it comes down to like how they played, the Oilers are a better team than way better team than the Stars. I think when it comes to the way they play similar styles, and I think the Oilers are a better team. So I think the Oilers, if they don't run into the Knights, they're sliding into the cup, and I think that's how it's going. I think the Stars are going to be overmatched, and the Knights are going to be moonwalking into the cup final.
Snipsy
Yeah,
thinks it's
I
slight
think
work for
Vegas got
Vegas.
this one in the bag, honestly, big time. I'm very confident. Lock it up, horse cock lock, whatever you want to call it.
Wow, horsecock lock Vegas.
Damn, Vinny just stamped the whole stock
All
on.
right.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Snipsy's been hot.
I just
these
have a
playoffs.
good feeling.
He's been hot. What 6-2 first round and 3-1 last round. So what's that? 9-3 total. I mean, I'd be confident too if I was.
Hey,
picking like
after
that,
what
these
the
playoffs.
Bruins did to Bruce.
I'm more of a game by game
After
guy.
what the Bruins did to Bruce, it's time for him to lay it on the table, like a fucking the horse cock on the table. He's
I'd
gonna
love to
show
see
the
it.
Bruins, shove it down their throats. It's gonna be nasty.
I'd love to see
I'm rooting
that,
for
honestly,
him.
I would. I've been all right. I've been all right with the series predictions. I'm way better, betting game by game. Seeing how the series is playing out, things like that. Deep down, I'm rooting for Bruce Cassidy to get to the Cup Finals and make the Bruins just look like even more of absolute shit than they already have. We've talked about that time and time again. How the Bruins fucked up there, using Bruce as a scapegoat. So yeah, I would love
Don.
to see it. Just throw some salt in the wound. Yeah, throw some salt in the wound to the Bruins right now. But we got some storylines in this series too. Not as much as Carolina and Florida.
Yep.
We got Pete DeBoer, right, going against his former team. So could it be revenge for Pete DeBoer after he got the boot last year? Just I've been consistent these playoffs. I haven't been flip flopping. I've been pretty consistent. I've been fading Vegas. Obviously, it hasn't worked out for me. Been riding the Stars. That has worked out for me. I'm also similar to Bob. I'm financially invested in the Stars. I didn't take a future on them like you did, Bob, but I entered a pool where you were randomly given a team, and I just so happened to get the Stars, and I'm one of 4 guys still alive in that. So with that being said, I got to roll with the Stars. I have to. I'm going to roll with the Stars. The difference, I think, in this series is going to be which Jake Ottinger shows up. If it's the Jake Ottinger we saw in the Seattle series, I think Snipsky's right. I think this might be, light work for Vegas. But I saw a stat today that made me feel pretty good about Dallas. And here it is. So Jake Ottinger, career stats against Vegas. He's 4-0 with a 1.18 goals allowed average and a .960 save percentage with 1 shutout. Jesus. I mean, I know that's regular season, but by those stats, it's small sample size. It looks like Jake Ottinger might have Vegas's number. So I'm hoping he knows that in the back of his mind and gives him a little pep, gives him a little swagger, because the Stars are gonna need Onger to be in his prime form if they want to get by this Knights team, because this Knights team is very well coached, obviously, with Bruce behind the bench. They're deep as hell up front. Those forwards, they've had like the same core forwards, I feel like, forever, and then they added
He's
Eichel,
playing
friggin'
fucking nasty
superstar.
too.
Defense is rock solid. First
Yeah.
ever postseason for him. He's been waiting for a long time. Defense, rock solid. Goaltending too. It's like friggin' goaltending carousel. Whoever they throw
It's that
out there is standing
defense.
on his head every night. So it's gonna be a tough task. It's gonna be a tough task for Dallas, but I'm rolling with Stars. I think this one's going 7-2, boys. I'm going Stars in 7. I think we might see 2 7-game series in these conference finals. I think that's how good these.
Yeah, it could be. Could be.
All right, so I'm looking forward to it. We've had a 2-day layoff. Back at it tomorrow, though, with the start of the conference finals. We'll see Carolina, Florida tomorrow night. And I'm also just glad that we're not going to see any more like 10 o'clock start times, because I think we're done with that right now that Edmonton.
What about Vegas?
Seattle's
What about
out.
Vegas?
That was miserable. And are they that time zone, or I think they're the same as Dallas, aren't they?
No,
yeah,
no,
we're gonna get we're gonna get a
3
few
hours back.
tens. I know I'm pretty sure they're West Coast.
Dude, if that's the only game on, and
they might move it.
not
They'll probably move it up to like
till
9
10.
o'clock.
Oh, I know.
I
They're at 8:30. 8:30 on Friday.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be 10 o'clock games.
Oh, let's go, dude. We're money. Dallas, Vegas, Friday game 1 is at 8:30, and then they play Sunday at 3 o'clock.
That's an early start time for them.
And then they play Tuesday at 8. No, their latest start times are 8:30. Let's go.
That. They need that.
We're chilling, boys. We're chilling. No,
where's the game?
Jesus Christ.
No more staying up till friggin' 1 and 2 in the morning and being miserable.
Where's the game at 3:30? 3:30 on Sunday. Is that like a Vegas? Is that in Vegas? 12:30 start.
Yeah, so it's like 12 o'clock.
Yo, those people are gonna be They're gonna be sauced up early for that one. Those motherfuckers.
I would love that, honestly. You just wake up and start hitting the sauce and then get ready for puck drop. Like,
I wouldn't even.
Literally.
I wouldn't
keep
even
it going.
Yo, I guess I heard in the radio, like all those guys who went to like cover the Patriots games. I guess it's wicked easy to get in those games. Like it's like literally you walk into a casino and there's the rink right there. Like you literally don't have. It's like unbelievable. What we have to deal with at fucking Boston, the Garden and shit. They literally roll out of bed, get out of their hotel, walk into a casino, and they're in the rink. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
That's nasty. So, yeah, we got a good schedule this round because, dude, what was it, Game 6 of Edmonton-Vegas on Sunday at 10 o'clock?
That was a
debacle. On
debacle.
all day. It was the most criminal scheduling I've ever seen.
It's like
That was awful. I didn't even stay up for it because I was just like, fuck NHL. I'm not even staying up.
It made no sense.
Yeah, I didn't stay up for like
the reason why I think they did is because they wanted the local people to like watch it, and it was like 10. It'd be on at like 7 o'clock or whatever. It's for the local people, but at the same time, it's like, what day was it? Was it Monday or was it Sunday? Was it Sunday that happened? Yeah, it's like
night.
Like they didn't have anything on ESPN at like 7 o'clock. It was like nothing.
No, they had the socks on and they got
but like
out.
on.
It was
Sunday Night Baseball?
Yeah,
and then
they
played
pumped.
the NHL game after? Oh,
Dude,
because it was blacked out here. That's why, huh? Because we couldn't watch it on.
Dude, this is how even more criminal it was. You had to watch on ESPN too because the Sox game was still
and they
going
scored
on,
like
and
3 goals in the first 10 minutes, right? Yeah, sorry.
Missed them all, dude. That's brutal. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Tommy was like, we hit up our group chat. And he's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why are the socks on, dude?" Like, well, I'm like, "Yeah, it's on ESPN too if you want to watch the game." And I was like, "Oh, like, I'm like Vegas early," and he goes, "Oh, they scored. What the fuck?" He's like, "Oh, it was mad funny. Like, it was like such a like shit show. It's like, yo, like,
you know why?
Kick them off the fucking." That's the other thing. I heard like Ryan Whitney. Yeah, I know why. No, like Ryan Whitney like went on a huge rant last night. I was watching his rant. It was like he was like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. Like the whole like we give all this money to ESPN or whatever, and they're not even marketing it, like us at all. Like they like he even brought up that example like we were just talking about. He's like why the fuck is like ESPN like holding a baseball game that's like literally not the game's already fucking over, and you have a high stake like elimination game with the two best players in the world with McDavid and Draisaitl playing in it, and you fucking bumped in the ESPN2 where no one watches it. You know what I
I
mean? Like
guess
it's not even prime time.
the only
You know, it's so
reason
ridiculous. Like
the
how
only
they're
reason
handling
why
it's
they do
ridiculous.
it is because they get more people that watch baseball than they watch hockey. And that's what it comes down to on their viewers.
Ridiculous.
But
Baseball
there's
legit
mad
fucking
people that
sucks.
watch it.
You
Baseball
think
stinks.
you think more people watch a regular season baseball over
I,
playoff
I,
hockey?
I'm not saying
I doubt that,
I
dude.
wouldn't
There's no way.
personally. I wouldn't watch baseball like that, like over.
In the
Yeah,
United
that's why.
States, maybe, but if you include
Yeah, I
Canada,
guess
no
that's.
way.
I'm guessing that's. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's what I think. I think that's what they're like looking at their views. Like, oh, this is what Sunday Night Baseball brings in. This
Yeah.
is what hockey brings in.
Probably.
We're gonna flex them out and then put in the baseball because we're gonna get more views. Sure, I don't. I just think that's what happened. That's
I mean,
all.
yeah, I mean, ESPN doesn't even consider hockey like a real sport. They put hockey in the same category as like friggin' badminton
Yeah.
and water polo. Like it's a joke.
Fucking stupid. Bunch of cocks, dude.
I'm pissed that they have that contract. That
And
ESPN
it's
for the next, like, 5
and it's
years, too.
mostly it's
Bring back
mostly
Versus.
only like
Yeah,
app
TNT.
like
Oh no, versus. Yeah, that
in
was
the
nasty.
like the contract's mostly just stuff in their app you can watch out of market games. It's you know what I mean. It's nothing really on the TV. It's really in their app where you can just like watch any game you want. It's
Yeah.
not on the TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all ESPN Plus. Yeah,
Yeah,
none of it's national.
some of them it's probably like 30 games maybe throughout the year, but you get all the games on ESPN Plus, and they make you pay for it anyway. It's like
If you're that big of a hockey fan, you're honestly better off not paying for cable, just paying for ESPN Plus, which is like $10 a month, and you can watch any hockey.
I mean,
game
I
you want.
use it, but
Yeah, we got rid of cable like at the apartment. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
I mean, I use it, but
Everything's
it's
a
good
scam.
for us because I mean, good for me, good for us because we cover the game, so it's like, all right, I'll invest in this. It's worth it
Yeah.
because I watch any game.
But yeah, but the casual fan,
Yeah.
they're not. They
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
access to it. It's a joke.
Yeah, exactly. The TV, that's what we want it on is television, not on the app, you know.
All right, before we sign off, Bob, you want to hit us with a fun fact of the day?
Yeah, it's a Stanley Cup one.
Let's go.
So, I'll make it like a trivia question actually. So, who do you guys think was the first team to engrave its name? Well, like the team roster name inside the ball.
Was it all right? So I
team.
think I have a good guess.
So like, you know how
the Montreal Maroons.
Who?
Quebec.
Close.
Am I got?
shit.
What do I have right? Do I have the name of the team right?
Montreal. It's a Montreal team.
No, it's not
it's
the
not the
Canadians.
Canadians, right?
It couldn't be that
No.
easy.
Wait, so you mean like, they're engraved on like the base of the cup?
No, it's inside the bowl. Like I think the
Oh.
first ever team to get engraved was like inside the bowl. So this is what it says.
Has anyone else had this?
Yes, there's two teams. So I'm just asking for the first one. It's a Montreal.
Oh
team.
wow.
They're both Canadian teams.
Montreal. What the?
I have no idea
What would
what
their
the-
name
what the other
be though?
Montreal
It's
team
like
was.
Montreal.
It's like wicked random. I just want to see if you guys would like even think of the name. It was.
What does the name
1906,
stand?
1907
What's
season.
the first letter of the first name?
Yeah, I
Can you
have
give
no
us the first
idea.
letter, or will it give it away?
W.
W.
No, I said W. Yeah.
Wind chimes.
I don't know. The Montreal winners. The winners.
The Montreal
Oh, that's
Wanderers.
like that. That's
Wanderers. What the
Wanderers.
1906,
What kind of name
1907.
is that? Sound like creeps.
Dude, it was the early 1900s,
Yeah,
dude. There was like
they're
polio.
fucking-
It was weird.
No imagination.
So the
back
so
then.
So the second team in 1914, 1915 was the Vancouver
Oh, that's
Millionaires.
better than
Oh
Wanderers.
yeah, the Millionaires.
Yo, they were probably a
That's
bunch
Yeah.
of weirdos wandering around, those creeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All junked out.
Wanderers. What do they think
Yeah.
Wanderers meant back then? Could have meant anything.
I've never even heard of that
Yeah.
team.
I heard of the Maroons. I was like, oh, Maroons.
Yeah, it was probably like a rec league. You know what I mean? It's probably like a men's league team. Yeah, like
Yeah, that was a
it's
good
like
guess.
it's like having Morning Sherwood. You know what I mean? That's like the name of like I played a team last night called the Morning Sherwood in men's league. That's how it is. It's like they're like had men's league teams or whatever. Like they're called like the pantyhose.
Word.
They like the fucking the
The
Montreal
Yarmir
pantyhose.
Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
Do we want to give out any picks for the golf this weekend?
Oh yeah, fuck it. I said it
Yeah.
to you guys, I think, before we started recording. I took Brooksy. That's my boy. Brooksy plus
Yeah,
2,000. Give it to
PGA
me.
Championship. I
Redemption.
I put a bet on Cam Young plus 3,000. 2 units.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Juicy
I'm gonna
odds.
win $700 if that hits. Be nasty.
Yeah, threw some lunch money on Cap.
Yeah,
Credit
dude,
winner.
a live guy's gotta win.
Nothing too hefty.
Live guy's gotta win eventually, and stick it to the PGA.
Why not, Brooksy?
Somebody, I'd love to see Cam Smith do something, but he can't hit his drive straight, so be all done there. Yeah,
Sounds
I
like
mean
it.
all of us. All right.
I put some coin on Mito Pereira. You guys ever heard of him?
Oh yeah.
Revenge
Yeah,
tour
right.
for Mito.
There's no revenge.
I heard he's a dog horse.
Yo,
Put
did
some
he
money
go
on
to
Mito.
the live?
He almost
He
won
went
it
to the
last
live,
year.
didn't he? I think he did.
No.
No, I don't. I think he's.
I
still on
don't
tour.
know. I actually.
Mito?
What?
No, I think
Yo,
he's still on
so
tour.
I was looking at a live post earlier, and he was on it.
Just
Oh,
just
shit.
Google it,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He is in live.
Yeah, because
He
that
did join
Live
the Live.
Golf League put up
What,
the
recently?
PGA
Like, just now?
Championship post with all the Live golfers, and Mito Pereira is on it, and he's teeing off at 2:09 tomorrow. Yeah, I went over my head when I was looking at it. I was like, who is this? And I'm like, oh, this is Liv. And I'm like, Mito Pereira's in the Liv? No wonder why he got the bag. He chased the bag
he-
because he blew it so bad last year. Probably lost his card.
He just
Yeah,
joined
he probably
in
lost his
February.
tour card, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, I ain't ever went on tour after that.
Dude,
choke
his
job.
swing on that 18th hole looked like me. I can see it like it was yesterday.
That's like me after.
Yeah,
like
it was
9
like he
beers.
double crossed. He went back and he went
Half swing.
and then double crossed the ball and fucking duck hooked it in the water. And he's like, where did that go? And then this caddy was probably like, I'm finding another job.
Caddy's like,
Yeah, and then the fucking Marshall's flippy X like you're done. Like the
Yeah,
guy that was throwing the ball
Mito's
flippy
caddy's
X,
like
all
whoever
done.
he's paired up with goes, yo, dude, you need a caddy next year, next tournament. This guy's all done behind me.
Yeah, he's like, the guy's like, I need to
Yeah,
support
with
a
the way
family,
he just
so,
swung at that ball, I think he should just
What's
get his
good?
tour card revoked.
he rips it. He's like to his caddy, oh, where'd that go? His caddy's like, that one's Adolf Hitler. 2 shots in the bunker.
Dude, I'm gonna. heard that one. That's unreal. What the fuck?
Jesus, 2 shots in the butt. Yeah,
All
yeah.
done.
He's all
Dude.
done like his PGA Tour career.
Yo, dude, I heard one.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard one caddy chirp. It's so funny. It's like if someone lips out and misses a putt or something like that. It's like, yo, dude. He's like, yo, it could be raining pussy. And you can get hit with a dick.
Sheesh.
It's like if people
I'll
lip
be
out
all
and shit.
done. That's all done.
What about had it in her mouth and the kids walked in?
Yeah. You guys see that one video?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, like it's like, oh yeah, like. Were you the one that sent it to me, Coco?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, and, and then the kids walked in, and she left with the kids.
Yeah.
I miss them very much, actually. Like, somebody's like, I had to pay child support. Like, he's like, let me tap those in for double bogey.
Yeah, he lips out and he's like, oh, I had it in her mouth and the kids walked in. He's like, and then she took the kids to grandma's and never came back. Now I'm paying child support. Haven't seen my
Jesus.
kids
Very
since. Let me tap this in for double bogey.
And he goes, hey, dude, you're walking over my line. I'll walk in your line. Walk in your line like it's a karate class.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
yeah,
tap
I
this in
saw
for
that
triple
video. That
bogey.
video is comedy.
It's so,
You seen
that
that?
shit's so fucking
Yeah, he
funny.
drills
Have you seen
the wall.
have you seen
Yeah.
He drills it,
Have
put
you
me
seen
down
the
for
video
triple.
with the guy? He's just like, he goes up there to like tee off and he accidentally hits the ball and then the guy goes, that's one. And he goes, oh yeah, haha. And then he like looks at the ball. He goes, you fucking motherfucker, He's like saying this in his head. He's like, you motherfucker, you bitch. Like, no wonder why your wife left you, and like crushes the ball down the fairway. It's so funny. Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
We gotta get back.
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
playing
kids.
Friday.
I know. I think I'm playing on.
I'm
Sunday
playing in a
PW.
tournament on Friday. I bought
let's go.
River
Where is
Bend, so I'm glad we already played it. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Jesus,
glad we
River
played
Snap?
it already before I even knew too that I was playing in this tournament. But yeah, I bought a new.
Yeah, prepare to get your balls snatched at River.
Yeah, it's a
Snatch.
shotgun start, and I went to the Golfers Warehouse, got a new golf shirt, ready to rip it up. Hopefully it's a nice day. It's supposed to be like 70.
Let's go. Look
Yeah,
good,
for
feel
sure.
Good. Yeah, Friday's supposed to be nice. It'll be a good day. All right. As always, I'd like to thank our producer, Mass Music Radio. They continue to produce music for the masses. If you haven't already, be sure to go check them out and their other featured podcasts over at www.massmusicradio.com. That's www.massmusicradio.com. That wraps it up for the boys tonight. We hope you enjoyed another episode. We appreciate you all tuning in to the High Slot Podcast. Don't forget to go check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Handle is @HighSlotPodcast for more daily hockey content. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you all next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Peace.
See you.